Well, it has been quite a week in politics, from the Canadian Prime Minister on the world stage to the CAQ's plans for its leadership race after François Legault's decision to step down. Joining us now is political analyst Justine McIntyre. Good to see you, Justine. So much to talk about today.
It really is. It's been a big day, big week.
Yeah, big week. And certainly one of the things that everyone, it seems, has been talking about this week is Prime Minister Mark Carney's speech at the World Economic Forum. I mean, he really seems to have made his mark on the global stage, getting a lot of accolades and praise that's widespread, it seems. Why do you think his speech resonated so strongly?
First of all, it was an extremely well-written and well-delivered speech, referencing back to Václav Havel. It was just a masterful speech, as Chantal Hébert pointed out, and we have seen it resonating around the world, really. And I think that's because he named something that a lot of people have been feeling for a long time, which is that the world order, as we've known it, no longer exists. And instead of being nostalgic and trying to create something that's not there, we need to look forward. He also talked about inequalities and the fact that the system isn't working the way it's supposed to, that there's been a breach in sort of the promise of how globalism is supposed to deliver on its promise and how it hasn't been doing that. So he talks about a rupture in the world order and really taps into what a lot of people have been feeling for a long time. So I think it was refreshing to have a world leader stand on the stage and speak the truth. Now, he also positioned Canada as a middle power and tried to reach out to other states, notably European nations, to collaborate as middle powers in order to try to even the playing field and position Canada, of course, a little bit as well.
Okay, of course, not everyone was impressed by the speech, chief among them, U.S. President Donald Trump. He spoke yesterday for well over an hour. There's a lot we could talk about, but let's focus on his so-called Board of Peace. What's your take on this?
Yeah, it's extremely concerning that he's putting together this new board, by the way, which Canada and many European nations have either said they won't join or are just kind of being skittish about right now. So with people like Javier Milei from Argentina, Viktor Orban on the board, it looks like he's trying to create something that's a parallel structure to the United Nations. It's also extremely concerning that there's a membership fee to participate in the board. He's asking participants to pony up $1 billion. And when we hear the kind of language that he uses to talk about promoting peace in the world, he really sounds as though what he's actually promoting is real estate development. He talks about the location of Gaza, for example, and what can be done with it. It's just extremely concerning and really seems to be almost a direct attack on what the UN actually stands for as a peacekeeping body. So I think also look at the name of it, and maybe there's exactly the opposite of what it's being named. That's the actual intention. I mean, he's calling it the Board of Peace. I would suggest that it's anything but that.
Okay, we unfortunately are already almost out of time, just 30 seconds left. I quickly want to get to the CAQ because we now have a date for when the next leader will be chosen.
We do. It's April 12th. It's looking like it's going to be a three-candidate race right now. Christine Fréchette. We also have Simon Jolin Barrette, who's considering but looking pretty serious, and more new support that we hear of today for Drainville, who has been in reflection for some time. Of course, he has now got a lot of things he's going to have to defend. He's moved forward that emissions reduction target of 37.5%. He's pushed it forward to 2035. So yeah, it'll be an interesting race, Maya. Lots to come.
Yeah. And Drainville, also, of course, under the PQ, the architect of the Charter of Values, which we know was very controversial at the time and remains part of his legacy. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. It's going to be very interesting. Thank you, Justine. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Maya.